Hey, Turo Host. If you're looking at this right now, you may be in a bent on what has been updated with the Turo policy. If you want to know more, then you need to stick around because I'm about to get into it. This could cost you. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. This is where you get constant updates on what's going on with Turo, what's going on in the car rental fleet, automobile industry, and much more. And we give you details of how to do this. If you want to really dive deep, I have a book called Starting Out on Turo. This book is an introduction to show you exactly how to get started on Turo. Literally, it will walk you through A through Z. It will show you how to set up everything that you have going on with your vehicle. So if you're thinking about doing so, I think this book will help you out. I know it will actually help you out because it helped many of my students. For the ones who are dead set on doing this, I have a course called Car Share Genius. Car Share Genius is the course that you want to have. If you're saying to yourself, I'm ready to do this, I read his book, I'm ready to jump ahead, I'm really ready to make real income in my life. This course is 28 modules. I run you through everything that I have. I give you my tools, such as my modules, such as my scripts, such as how you need to lay out your marketing campaign, meaning that, hey, how do I market my vehicle? How do I do my pictures? How do I write to the customers as my avatar for my vehicle? And so much more. Easy to digest, ready to go for you. You just need to go ahead and take action today. So both of these items are going to be available down in the description below, so do not miss out. All right, guys, we're going to dive into it, and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth on some of the things that I've seen with the new changes with Turo, and this affect me because I was dropping off a vehicle at the airport. And dropping in the vehicle off at the airport, found out for my reimbursement, only get paid for dropping it in, not picking it up, which to me makes no sense at all. So we're going to talk about this. This is one of the first key points that I have. Who's responsible for parking fees during a gas trip? Literally, if you look at this right here, you're looking at the paying for parking. Some hosts house their vehicles and or deliver them to pay parking facilities. Hosts must make it clear whether they pay for the parking fee at those facilities. So what does that mean? You need to very much put in your description who's paying what up front. Also, I mentioned to people you want to put this in your automated message. So for example, when people are picking up the vehicles at the airport, I let them know, hey, you elected for airport drop-off. There's going to be a delivery fee and there is going to be a tow fee, meaning that, hey, you got to pay to get the vehicle out. A long time ago, Turo gave free parking at the Charlotte Douglas Airport, and 2 years ago from there, they pulled that away. They just got outbidded by a rental company and by a parking company ultimately, and it took up all the space. So Turo hosts are not allowed to park the cars for free. So looking at these things here, I want to make sure that you understand a few things about who's responsible for these fees. Again, you paying up front, you can do that. There's no problem with that. You can do pay up front, whatnot, depending on where you at. And that's based off where you're dropping the car at. Them getting the car out and then you turn around saying, well, give me the money. They're saying, no, that's not allowed, even though you might have an invoice or receipt or whatnot. So what are the ways to get around that? Is that you can do self-parking, where if you park the car in there, they have to pay to get it out. That's one possibility, but there's pros and cons. So for me in Charlotte, if they were to park the car in self-parking, you may have guests who may not even tell you where they park the car. So now you're hunting for it and you don't know exactly if they got cameras in that area, right? I don't know if they got cameras in the area. Where my valet system, they're constantly monitoring, they're watching the parking lot, they're doing all these things. They even wash your car for you if you need to get the car back out on the road for yourself. That's another thing that you can do. Another thing is that you can integrate the price. Listen to me. You can integrate the price for your vehicle inside of your listing. Now, how does that make sense, Luke? And you might say that, and the reason being is that, hey, what if a person want to pick up my house versus someone will pick it up at the airport? They're basically paying the same thing. And that's where you have to do some delineation with your delivery fee. That's where that comes into. So if you're going to raise up your delivery fee, look at what is going on in your area by using Raptor or Turex, basically the same thing. And you can see what your competitors are listing their vehicles for delivery fees and see if it matches. You may take an eat up cost on it. The last thing is to stop doing deliveries altogether. If you feel like, hey, I'm not going to deliver a vehicle, this is going to be something that it's going to be a headache, you can do that too. Now, what I speculate is that pricing, I think with Turo looking at everything in the market around in the economy, they're looking at, hey, we're not going to pay for all these extra fees. I really do think that what triggered that was that, hey, some of these people are getting off because there are some people who are trying to use the system. But at the end, I don't think that was the majority. I think it was folks who were showing these fees, these high fees, not like how I got $24 to parking, but it might be $100 fee just to park the car, depending on where they at in the country. And folks are like, okay, I want you to reimburse me. And Turo turns around and says, I'm not paying that. Like, you need to figure that out, which I think they put us on the hook for. I'll pay for bringing the car in, but we're not paying for the car going back out to you. And you have to state this again, guys. You have to state exactly who is paying what, so there's no confusion. When I started doing this, I told folks, hey, this is what you're paying, this is what I have to pay. And now I'm looking at this, now I'm reading this. Let me read this to you. Reimbursement. If a host says that they will reimburse you for a parking fee you paid to pick up the vehicle, they must send you a note into a message confirming that they plan to do so. Saving a parking receipt, contact customer service once the trip has ended. The support agent will ask you to submit the photo of the receipt. Will check Turo message for the host note and reimburse you. That's another one, but how many of the guests gonna do that, guys? They may not do that. They know, hey, I can get off the hook by not even saying this, because they can look at the same information I can look at. Because if you're talking about parking, you might have one of those customers who might do their homework and say, well, this is what I do. And my best recommendation, and this is what I'm thinking, if you're going to do a delivery drop off, you just include it into the pricing of your delivery fee. So for example, if my delivery fee is, let's say, $20, make it very basic, and I have to pay $24 to get the car out, I include it into the delivery fee. That way it nips it in the butt. That doesn't mess up your whole process with your folks who pick up at your home location or your office location. And when you do that, make sure you communicate that with the guests. They might have, why is it so high? I said, well, it's incorporated with the outgoing pickup fee, so you don't have to pay for that. It's well, you're paying for it, but it's already incorporated versus me dropping off the vehicle. So let's take that in mind. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Tips to avoid unexpected fees and stay compliant with Turo. I think you just have to make sure you put this link, this website on it. So people see this, you're being very transparent. There's no confusion. So when folks, I'm not paying it, that's ridiculous. You can use this with Turo. Say, hey, this is Turo's policy. If they don't want to pay, you turn around, say, Turo, I actually list this in my description where they can get further information. And they go, yeah, you actually did. So you did your due diligence. What's going to happen is that they're going to look out for you. You don't want to have folks trying to come off sideways, and it can happen. A lot of people are hurting no money right now, and this can happen. And one thing I will tell you this is going to be my final thing. If you are doing this and you really want to avoid parking, you may be able to park outside of where they're charging fees. There's one thing that I have to look at when I get back to Charlotte is that people are going away from the parking decks at the airport. They're parking on outskirts where they have another secondary parking lot where people can drop off their vehicles to avoid the high price love parking in the Charlotte Douglas area. The reason why I say I want to go look because I want to get pictures. I want to show people exactly what I'm seeing. If I was literally coming in to figure out where do people park their car at, or if they're about to go on a trip, or where they can pick their car at, other than at the airport. This will help out a lot. Now, I'm not saying you just park your car on the side of the street and say, "Hey, here it is." This is another parking deck. And you may want to do that. You might want to see how close it is to the airport or wherever you're doing your delivery at, where people can actually get to the vehicle without the hassle, without this nonsense right here. And if you do have to resort to self parking, maybe it might be a little bit easier where it's like, hey, this is where your car at. You take a picture, you send it to them. This is where you pick it up and what forth. So, guys, I hope that this helps you out. This is a short video. I wanted to be sure I wanted to get it out because I owed you last week, and I may be coming back next week to talk about more of starting out on Turo. So, starting on Turo, this is the book right here that I'm talking about. So, it's a real book. This is what we talk about, real things. We talk about getting you where you need to go. And if you don't know how to start on Turo, this is the book to have. So definitely check this out, guys. Links down below, and also check out the course links down below. If you feel like I provided you with valuable insight, guidance to get you to where you need to go to when it's navigating through Turo, I need your help. I need you to go ahead and give me some likes, and I need you to make sure you subscribe so you can stay informed for future updates and much, much more. Again, guys, my name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. Thank you for joining Car Share Genius. I see you next time. Take care.